Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Powers coming to you from my kitchen. I know you can see my decoration behind me on the wall, but you know I love all things Disney. So in our new unit, we're going to be talking about animals in nonfiction. Remembering that nonfiction is about stories that are true and can really happen. So what I want you today is to pull out this packet. On the top it says The Rescue Dogs. This is a nonfiction passage. You can pause the video at any time, but we're going to read The Rescue Dogs, and then we're going to do the passage behind it, which is fiction, Why I Don't Like Chocolate Cake, and we're going to compare. Okay? So go ahead, pull this out. The Rescue Dogs. A man was lost. The man was in the mountains. It was very cold in the mountains. Snow was all around. The snow was deep. The snow was blowing. The man could not see. He could not find his way. The man became too cold to move. He sat down in the snow. The snow began to cover the man. Could the man be found? Could the man be saved? Two big dogs found the man. The dogs were a special kind of dog. They were St. Bernard dogs. The two St. Bernard dogs had been trained. They had been trained to work as a pair. One St. Bernard licked the man's face. Then it lay down next to the man. The dog lay down next to the man to keep him warm. The other dog ran for help. This dog led rescue workers to the man. The St. Bernard dogs helped rescue the man, and the dogs helped save the man's life. Those are my dogs making noise in the background while I'm reading to you. And here's a picture of the St. Bernard dog. Maybe you even know something about rescue dogs or St. Bernard dogs, something we'll have to learn more about. Our second passage, Why I Don't Like Chocolate Cake. And this looks like a service dog to me. Before I even start the passage, just by looking at the picture, it looks like he's wearing a service vest. He's on a leash. So that might give me some clues into the passage. My name is Max. I am a beagle. Beagles are small dogs. I work at the airport. At the airport, I do not look for people. I do not look for drugs. What I do if I do not look for people? What do I do if I do not look for drugs? I look for food. Some food should not be taken into a country. The food might carry insects. It might carry germs. The insects could spread. The germs could spread. I was trained to detect foods. The foods that should not be taken into a country. I am rewarded when I detect oranges. I am rewarded when I detect apples. I am rewarded when I detect beef. I am rewarded when I detect pork. I do not like chocolate cake. Why don't I like chocolate cake? There is no reward for finding chocolate cake. So that was kind of silly. But he was searching for food at the airport. So we're going to flip over to Show What You Know. And I have my different colored highlighters here and my pen. So you'll need a pencil and your highlighter. Question number 1. Why did one dog lie down next to the man? A, it wanted to work as a pair. B, it wanted to keep the man warm. C, it wanted to lick the man's face. D, it wanted to lead rescue workers to the man. So I want to go back to that first passage. Why did one dog lie down next to the man? And then let's see. I found the answer in the second paragraph. So I'm going to highlight that. And if you need to pause the video while you're doing this, go ahead. But the answer can be found right here in the second paragraph. And it says, it lay down next to the man. The dog lay down next to the man to keep him warm. So I'm going to go back into my questions here. And I'm going to select B. It wanted to keep the man warm. Question number 2. Max is not rewarded when he detects the word detect means find. So in that second passage, we were reading about Max at the airport. What was he not rewarded for finding? It's in our title, and it's also the last sentence in that passage. Go ahead and see if you can find what Max was not rewarded for. And again, just pause the video while you're looking. Right here at the end, he was not rewarded for finding chocolate cake. Same title as the passage. I know I like chocolate cake. So for number 2, I'm going to select D, chocolate cake. Number 3, both stories are about dogs, food, finding people, or St. Bernard dogs. What do you think? Were both passages about dogs? I think that could be a possibility. Were they both about food? No, I'm going to cross that out. I know that can't be a choice. Were both passages about finding people? No, only the first passage was. Were they both about St. Bernard dogs? No. The first passage was about St. Bernard dogs. But the second passage was about a beagle named Max, who was a service dog, finding different foods for insects and germs and things like that. So our answer would be A, dogs. But sometimes I'd like to use crossing out other answers as a strategy. Number 4, a fiction story is made up. It is not a true story. Why I Don't Like Chocolate Cake is fiction. You can tell the story is fiction because A, dogs like chocolate cake. B, dogs cannot tell stories. C, a dog would not lie down in the snow. D, a dog cannot be trained to detect apples or oranges. What do you think about why I don't like chocolate cake? It starts out, my name is Max. I am a beagle. Beagles are small dogs. I work at the airport. Who is telling that story? Max. Can dogs really tell us a story? No, they can't. Now, there really are dogs that are service dogs that work in airports. They help people that can't see. They help people with seizure disorders. Dogs can be trained to do all sorts of services, but they certainly cannot talk or tell us a story. So I'm going to select B, dogs cannot tell stories. Number 5, a St. Bernard is most likely a better rescue dog in the snow because A, it is bigger than a beagle. B, it is smaller than a beagle. C, a St. Bernard cannot smell food. D, a beagle can only be trained to smell food. I was thinking one of the answers were if you've ever seen a St. Bernard, is they're so big and fluffy and furry, they would definitely keep you warm. But that wasn't a choice. So I went with it's bigger than a beagle because the bigger dog could lay next to the person and keep them warm. Okay, let's flip over on the back. Number 6. Practice your handwriting. Pick one word from the story to write on the word below. You can pick any word, and it only has to be one word. You're just going to use your best handwriting to make it fit on the line. And it could be any word. Snow, St. Bernard, beagle, food. One word in your best handwriting. It doesn't have to be a sentence. Number 7, think about when things happened in the rescue dog. Fill in the boxes to show when they happened in the story. So you want to go back to the story and we'll put things in order. Box number 1 is empty. Box number 2, dogs find man trapped in the snow. Okay. So we have to figure out what happened before that and after that for number 1 and 3. The dog lies down next to the man. We have to find number 5. After the dog lies down next to the man, what happened? You're going to fill that in number 5. And number 6, the dog leads the rescue workers to the man. Number 8, fill in the columns. What does Max not do at the airport? What Max does at the airport. What does he not do? Well, we can find that in the very first paragraph. So I'm going to fill that in. And what does he do? We know he does one important thing. Write one or more sentences that tell what each story is about. The Rescue Dogs is about and you can go back in the text to find the answer. Why I Don't Like Chocolate Cake is about. And remember, what do we end our sentences with? A period or an ending mark. Think about the different jobs the dogs in the stories did. Is one job more important in the story? And you could write yes or no, but you need to give me the reason why. So I'm going to hold up my answers. You can freeze the screen. You might have something a little different because you might have picked a different word or rewritten something a different way, but it just gives you an idea about how to phrase some of the answers to these questions. So you can go ahead and pause the video and check your answers with mine.